Wow, where are we at now? This is the blue flowers. Reminds me of dandelions after they have been blooming and just before they are being taken by somebody and being blown into the wind. It says Hamburg, Germany, a colorful warehouse house loft. But this is in Brazil, right? Maybe they are keeping Hamburg, Germany warehouse stuff. But blue and the blue fish in the background on the plate, right? Yeah, and the deepness of the black. So they are playing with many things in this picture, like the can is of dark brown clay, and when the lights reflects on it, then you see all the different shades of brown in this particular brown vase, and together with the blue that is also having different shades of blue, and the green and the shape of the flowers together with the shape of the fish that actually have the same structure. On this part, I don't know English so well, but this part of the fish, and then it's echoing, the structure of the flower is echoing in the fish, right? So that is a combination of how to put art pieces together. Whether or not these flowers are artificial or not, I don't know, because artificial flowers can actually sometimes look very natural and very beautiful, but it looks like it's natural. I think they are natural. And then we have this dining room, and probably we have just entered from the hallway. We were in the hallway before, right, on the beforehand picture, and now we already can have a look into the dining room. And then this big wall painting, how to say that, they put something, not the wall painting but wall fabric on the wall, is meeting our eyes. And what they do here is that they mix wood and different designs of chairs with steel, but somehow it looks less aesthetic to my eye, to be frankly honest. And it could have been done much better than this, I think. If you want to mix steel with wood and mix different kinds of design of chairs, then at least you have to make it look harmonious. And I don't feel that the arrangement of chairs is harmonious, but I feel that the combination of the wooden table and the blue carpet is very beautiful, and that the blue carpet is a good solution for a room with this particular wallpaper, because it's a contrast to the pink and the white, right? I'm not sure I would have chosen this kind of lamp. Again, I think that it somehow is making the room look more poor. I like when things are looking rich and harmonious. And then we have plants And I have noticed in this particular apartment, they put plants, maybe because they can't find enough space for the plants, I don't know, but they put plants very close to openings in the walls, pathways, and close to furnitures. And I also think that is a mistake. And I talk without any experience and without any intellectual education. I just speak from my heart what I find aesthetic beautiful, right? And then we have the combination of this chair and that one, I don't know the English name of it, what it's called. I also think that it's, and then the plant is hanging like this in front of it. I think it looks not organized and not harmonious, beautiful for the eye. I see what their intentions with this room is, but it's like they didn't think very careful about it before they placed these chairs here and those plants. It could have been more carefully arranged. So I'm just trying to make a presentation of this place, and I know that it's without the hypocritic wanting to sell a product, right? It's just pure honesty now. And then I also like the vase, but I would never have placed it in this combination of furnitures. I think this vase belongs to a much smaller table and a different kind of shape of table, maybe a small round table, I'm not sure. And then we have also these candlesticks up there, and then they are in some light blue, maybe wooden material or maybe clay. And then with these also candlesticks, and I just think that it looks poor and ugly, because this wallpaper, right, is very luxurious, gives us a very luxurious feeling. So at least there should have been something echoing the pink, I think. And I think that there should have been either something, instead of these chairs and this material on the chairs, the way it is here is like, and he used that, or she used that in this apartment a lot, that elements from a female dress in the old days, where this is like reminds me of the classical dresses, vintage. I don't know if it was that period of time, because I'm not professional. I'm not from that environment where I've been taught all that stuff that this young girl is trying to educate people in online. But you see, all this here is looking like when you want to tie your waist, and that is what they want to echo the bird up there, right? So then they actually put the bird in cage, because those women, when they were tightening it, they put themselves, like their breathing organ, in cage. It was a kind of suppression. So he's actually suppressing the beauty and free wildlife on the wall painting by putting this in front of. I think that is what makes it also ugly in my mind, in my beautiful mind, excuse me. But I would have been very careful with this wallpaper. If you want to choose this kind of wallpaper that is very baroque feeling, I would maybe have placed very beautiful glass chandelier, because I would like to emphasize the beauty of the lights entering these flowers. I would want to echo that, so it emphasizes the beauty in this wallpaper, which is actually not the bird and not the greenery that he has also made very ugly over here. These plants looks ugly somehow. That kind of plant can look very beautiful, but here in this picture it just looks very chaotic. So what I think I would have done is that I would have put a chandelier, either whites, or I think I would have chosen something pink, very light pink, right? Maybe even a lighter pink than this one, but with a bit pink. And then those two things would have been matching together. Then this home is very much about contrasts, right? And when you're using contrast in the color scale, within the color scale, that is very, very, can look very, very beautiful. Here he wants the blue colors as contrast. Let's think of if there are other colors that could also be contrast, that would have worked better than this, right? Let's go through the color scales. What would have looked better than the blue blanket? I think the blue blanket is perfect, but maybe I would have made the vase dark blue and then put the lighter blue blanket underneath. Why? Because then the focus is more on the table and the beauty of the table, and less down on the floor feeling of poverty, right? Because this blanket is just one color. It's not a very expensive feeling, one color blanket. So if you have one color blanket, you see, I'm not professional in everything I do. There's some kind of I add some kind of spice and realize something when I throw myself into project that I don't know anything about and I don't have experience in, right? But I'm just talking like I know, but I actually know. My heart knows many things. I just need to start open my mouth and show it. So, and I don't care about education and all that stuff. I care about the now and what I know in the now, and what I don't know in the now, it doesn't matter. To admit that you don't know something is not a big fault. It can make what you are doing even more beautiful, right? And more acceptable for those who are viewing and listening it, because you don't pretend to be something that you're not. And trying to pretend to be something that you're not, that is also affecting people's voices when they want to tell something, tell a story about an environment. And you have to be honest, and people can listen in your voice if you're not honest about what you're talking about, if you're just faking it. And nowadays everybody say fake it until you make it, and I'm not of that opinion. I'm of the opposite opinion. So maybe choose the light blue down here, or maybe choose a green, a dark green, or even a brown, right? We have the beautiful wooden floor, so a brown blanket would not look ugly. And then I would have maybe the same color brown as the table down here, and then dark wooden chairs. Why dark wooden chairs? because if she want to mix the something of darker wood with lighter wood to this wallpaper without it's looking very cheap and disorganized, then she should add something, shapes that is echoing the shapes of the wallpaper, which she have not done very well, I think, or he has not done. I don't know if it's a he or she live there. So because I've not even looked through this video yet. I've not seen more of this video than you guys have. Okay, and then what is over here? It looks like something of glass, and that is also making it look like a cheap something, because it looks like a frame, but there's nothing nice to look on, nothing elegant within that frame. And for few money, you can make this home look much more expensive. If I should just enter this room and make it more expensive without any costs, with just small pennies, then I would start to paint this chair a little darker, and I will remove this blanket and this blanket, and I would actually paint these white another color. Then I think already it will look more elegant. I would remove this frame. I would put these rough candlesticks here instead of the golden ones, because if you want golden candlesticks in to this wallpaper, they have to be much bigger and much more beautiful. But to put these as a contrast is okay, I think. And then this one vase should be a more natural vase, like maybe a brown vase, because this one vase is looking very cheap, very cheap, and not the same style as the wall painting. It's a totally different style. So many different styles of wood and the periods are mixed together. You can do that. You can make something of steel, but still keep the same period of time when you mix the stuff, right? And they haven't done that carefully here. My first impression was wow, but as I enter more and more with my eyes and analyze, I see the ugliness of this room. It's actually only the wallpaper rescuing this room for me, and the blue carpet, those two things. The rest of it looks like cheap solutions, and not a home environment professional that have decorated this. If you like these kind of blankets, I don't know the word of them, sorry, is it from a sheep, then you can also place them on the table, right? Or maybe on this chair. It would already look much better on this chair. But you can polish these wooden chairs and put more dark color, and then it will start to look as something that they have a very beautiful and sophisticated name for, with the dark blue here and the black here and dark furnitures. Then it would be a style. This is not a style that I can recognize. You can recognize this style? Maybe from a summer house where they didn't care about anything but earning some quick money, and just took something from the nearby secondhand shop and put inside their home. I think all these furnitures are expensive. Maybe they are, but they don't look expensive. Let's take a new picture. I could talk for many hours about just that room, I think. And then we walk through here, and then we have again, they mix metal with a leather sofa. right? And the leather sofa is Bordeaux. And then they want to mix the reds with that. And that is too much, I think. If they want to mix the red, it should be something of glass in that red color. Why? Because this is leather and this is fabric, right? And leather and fabric is almost the same. You can make fabric out of leather. You can cut it so that it and make it so that it's. But from leather to glass, there's a longer distance, and then it suddenly doesn't look cheap. They still look cheap. And then, for example, if the vase have that color, then you have the glass vase in that red color, and then you have the dark Bordeaux. It's much more red in this picture than it's very dark inside of here. Sorry for that. And then we have these beautiful flowers, orange flowers. I would have put white flowers. This room is missing some white, missing the feeling of clouds in the room. And white always bring some extra elegance and aesthetic to a room. There's no white except of the white door here that is not looking luxurious, and the base walls that is also not looking very nice, right? And the radiator that is not looking nice, that is in a white color but also looking like something cheap. So if you want to make this room look very expensive for few money, then if you want to echo this wallpaper and keep this wall color of that wall in that color, then you don't echo it with some cheap flowers from the garden, then and a cheap vase. Then you put a vase in red color that also have some texture that is interesting, right? Not some just up, down, one very normal shape, but something that is maybe sticking out, making some shapes. If you want that sticking out like that is a sunflower, if you want that feeling, then you can do it with choosing a vase in red color that is have some texture to it that is sticking out. And then white flowers. Then the room all already, and take the orange color, put here as one of the pillows, right? Or put as the fabric on the chairs would look very wonderful, because then you don't just say, okay, the furnitures have to be brown, red brown. Okay, we just take two different colors. No, that doesn't work for this room, in my opinion. So, but I think an orange pillow here, a red vase, and white flowers, white seats, or black seats, or orange seats, and a white pillow would make this room fantastic, good looking, right? That is my opinion, and I think my opinion has value. This bag is also looking, the design of the bag is making the room look cheap. Because there's nothing else black in this room. I just put my bag, and when the bag is not there, where is the black? The black is missing. There's only small, something thin plate up here. And again, that adds to the feeling of a poor environment. Not very thought good of. I like the texture of this pillow. I like it very much, you see. And that's also why I think, because there is this little white in this one. So if you were putting white flowers, it would also go well with that. Because it's like small flower, but it's not flowers. It's a pillow texture. It's actually just white drops, right? but then if it blooms into a flower, then you see a blooming effect. It's like the pillow suddenly communicates. It's a stage on the earth before the flower finally start to bloom up here. Then you are suddenly telling a story about life, about a beautiful process. But you don't do that with this room. Where is the beautiful process in this room? Sorry, but I don't see it. And then we have this room. And now I'm almost crying. Because this room is so beautiful. And I almost have no energy left for anything today because I have Coli. But this room works much better for me. Here we have a beautiful carpet in white and a little pink, right? And some purple flowers and some turquoise, some yellow, some green, a lamp, a small dog in black and white. But if the dog in black and white is not there, what have we that is black? We have something down here, and that down here looks ugly, doesn't it? And then we have something gray. What is, or is it black? It is what? What is it? Okay, already next room. Then we have these gray doors and this handle. And then this invites to a style that I don't know how it goes with the room that we just left. It's just inviting us to a whole different style in the next room, which is totally different from what is promising us. This also looks very cheap. Making something beautiful as a molding into some very ugly 5-year-old has were painting something here. And then we have the green chairs, which is always a good choice if you want the room to look elegant. And then the glass table is also beautiful, echoing the green chairs. And then we have the greenery out there from the window. So it's almost too much green now, and no other color except of the white, which we also have plenty of on the walls, right? So it's without soul. Do you see that it's without soul? So here, what is down here? Then we have a white chair and some very good quality chair, it looks like, right? This makes the room look cheap, that ceiling, that molding. And then here what we have, a mask, because he likes masks, this artist who are living here. And then here is what? It is, oh yeah, and those can also look very expensive for few money. It's actually a old gramophone, but it looks ugly, not aesthetic at all. Those can look very, very, very beautiful. And then we have some furnitures here. We have a carpet. It is red, black, yellow, and red. So in order to match a carpet like this, you should have a white sofa or a white chair, or I think maybe a black chair. And what have they chosen? They have chosen something black that looks very, very cheap, and then they have used something dark turquoise and it doesn't look aesthetic to the eyes, does it? It doesn't look aesthetic. Here is the gramophone place, but it's going too quickly to next room. And here we have the kitchen, and what is she doing in the very, very first time we see her? She is picking a fruit from that basket, as to say, we are inside the Garden of Eden now. If it was the Garden of Eden, it would look much more pretty, and this place in order for this white and blue to look luxury. Now it looks, the combination of colors together here, it looks not luxury, it looks cheap. Then you should put black of these pots, something black, and it can still be this material, but black would match and make it into a better experience. And the blackness of this shelf should be maybe another color, maybe white, or maybe pink, or maybe orange, right? And then you don't put orange together with this kind of blue, because it looks cheap. If you want to put a fruit, you put aubergine and avocado, then it doesn't look cheap. And what is it down here? The red against this red fruits, against this also look terrible cheap. Again, I would have chosen, if I want the red color, to put a glass bowl of reds, because red in glass looks very luxurious, and you can get it for few money, right? And then the bookshelf up there. In a kitchen, I would never put a bookshelf. I would display one book down on the table here, standing on a small, not staffeli, but you know what I mean, those kind of things that is made of wood, and lift the book up a little bit so that it's like ready for you looking through some beautiful pictures of with text recipes, right, for cooking. You don't need a whole library, you just need your favorite cooking book on the table. And the basket that she is taking these fruits from is a flower basket. And I have seen more beautiful flower baskets than this before. And when you have a cheap look like this with the blue, and this one looks cheap to me. Then you need the black in order for black and something of big and round and solid, like this one if it was black, and if this one were black. To choose a light color base like this is just emphasizing how cheap the look of these stones look. You see, there are many mistakes done here, many mistakes, and my eyes as an oracle sees it, because I have a different sense of what is beautiful, because my eyes always look for beautiful things, always and always. And that's why I master it in the moment. Like intuitively, I can see what is wrong. I also get help from my oracle to point out what is wrong with these rooms, what can be done in different way. If you put a favorite color like purple on the wooden, paint the wooden bookshelf another color than dark, because to paint a furniture dark can make it very luxurious and very beautiful. But when it's just a floating shelf, or what you call it, then here it looks cheap with all those books on it and small pieces of something, a present from a small child or what it is, right? A drawing that somebody gave you that is not professional drawing of a horse. And then these, the plants, looks like they want some sunshine, or they look like something that, why not put an orchid with beautiful flowers that emphasize something luxurious. This is not luxury. And if there is an orchid in white, then it echoes the white from the cheap feeling of these stones, and make these stones look expensive, because there is the white in the stones is echoing in an orchid flower. And the orchid flower is easy to water. It doesn't acquire much attention, and then it's already looks like luxury with those few corrections of this room. Let's go further here. And something that you can do to a small kitchen is to put a mirror, right? So instead of all this confusion here that confuses the eye and makes it look very chaotic and unpleasant to the eye, you could put up the wall a mirror that goes up top of the wall and all the way down, and not spend any money on this furniture and this plant and this and what they hang up here, because it all looks cheap and ugly. But if you hang one mirror here up from top and down, then it already look, no matter the quality of the mirror, then it already looks, if it's an IKEA mirror, it already makes this room much more beautiful. And then you can go to a second-hand store and put some pot down here in any color you want, and with an orchid flower, and it would look very beautiful and expensive already. The radiator can be more beautiful. You can take it down if you have the money, that I think that they actually have money to make this home more beautiful, but they just don't want to spend the money on their home. They want to spend it on traveling or opening new businesses and earning more money or whatever. I couldn't live here because I think it's ugly, and it's not a representation of somebody who has a harmonious inner life. It is very chaotic. It looks like they have not tidied it up, even though that everything has been tidying up. It looks like this place is not clean, even though that everywhere has been cleaned. It just looks chaotic and not beautiful aesthetic. If you want some steel here, then a mirror is a kind of steel, right? And the pot down there, and then an orchid, I think. And then they put a white here. So they take here where there's nothing white but a radiator, and then they invite us from the radiator down to the floor. What kind of mindfulness is that? What story are they actually telling by this? And what is the white over here? A candlestick that can burn, that can drop down and burn this blanket, and the radiator is also something hot. If you spill something, you take the blanket and put on the radiator to dry. What kind of story is this inviting? I'm just asking questions here because I feel that's something wrong with how they arrange and how they choose the color combination and the materials. Then we walk into this room. There's something orange awaiting us down there. And I've already been in the other rooms, and all I can think of is the white and the blue stones on the kitchen, and some orange, and how cheap it was looking. And now there is maybe an expensive lamp down here, but it makes my expectation of the lamp with all this in front of, maybe it's just a cheap lamp down there. And I don't see any other colors than black, white, and a little bit of orange down there, and the chaotic plant is blocking my viewpoint, blocking my view. And now we look at a door.
Hey guys, welcome to Interior
And
Insider.
yellow wall painting.
I'm Jay, and we are standing in front of an apartment that is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. It's colorful, it's
You
old.
see, me, I have Staffelicocus. I have constantly pain in my spine. I have all the same frustration and sorrow and pain in my voice. But because I accept it, right, and you know my history that I'm sick, then my presentation is honest and is lovely, and it's not like you get irritated of my voice in this presentation. But when this woman is speaking, it's she don't want to show her anger, her frustration, her humanity of making mistakes or not being totally sure of something. What she wants to show is a tough woman of perfection. And she's glorifying what she wants to sell here, because some of these apartments is NMB apartments where you can rent them for a night or two or a week.
But at the same time, it's perfectly organized and just cramped.
She wants to cry. But when I want to cry, then I dare to express it, in the right kind of moment, with the right kind of sunshiny, pea-colored glass windows in the background, like it fits my environment, and I'm inside what I'm looking at already, and I'm an expression of that.
Coherent and beautiful design story.
She do like this with her hands, a lot of knowledge, and I wish for her that all that knowledge also can be combined with daring to be present with her own feelings in that environment, and be truthful and mindful, a mindful expression of what kind of experience it actually is to enter this kind of home.
If you haven't subscribed yet, please make sure to subscribe. This apartment is the home of a Brazilian and German family of 4 who lives here.
Okay, so they are a family of 4, right? They have children, and maybe that's why they didn't have any time to think deeply about this. They haven't been studying interior design. They have been busy with their children, and there is a drawing that maybe one of the children have been making, and there is a candlestick that maybe also one of the children has been making. Even though that you love your children very much and you love their artwork, then you don't have to put it in a combination that makes your children's artwork looks cheap. I could imagine that candlestick in the right combination of wallpaper and furniture, where it would suddenly look very expensive, and the horse painting would look like the most beautiful masterpiece, if not in front of these ugly plants. And what they have put behind? A cutting board of no good quality cutting board. So, and even the frame of the horse is ugly and bad quality. So if they value their children, they should also buy a more beautiful candlestick, light it for this presentation as a symbol of they value their children. They light the candlestick and they put this horse on its proper place, hang it on the wall, give it a place to live, not just a temporary place to live. This is a home that they can always return to, or is this storytelling a home where they can live for a period of time and then they can sell it and then they can go to another place to live? Why are they not hanging beautiful things on the walls?
And you can just really feel the energy throughout the place. As we come in, we are already in the hallway.
And you see the hallway is the same soul environment of not knowing who they are. They don't know who they are. If they knew who they were, they would not put a sunshiny in the middle of the hallway, because they are not sunshiny within. They would have put exactly what they are, gray. They would have put a gray wall painting right on the walls, and they would have put the sunshine somewhere else, maybe in the toilets.
The entire hallway has been painted in this bright yellow color, and you just have this bold contrast of this.
What is this? What is this? What is this?
And all of the historic details.
They want to earn money renting this place out, or they actually live here. I'm not sure. And everything looks cheap and disorganized.
For the floor of the apartment.
You see, I show who I am. I show temperament. I show emotions. I show disgust, and I show beautiful emotions. For if there's nothing beautiful to look at, then I mention a possibility that would look beautiful, and then I change my voice into something that is beautiful and pleasant, right? I dare to show who I am, and that is how we should be selling our products, with pure-hearted intention of melting in together into that product and creating a third opinion together with the customer, and also bring some irony and sarcasm and humor into it. Because people can hate this video, but people can also see the humoristic aspect of me trying to analyze this home as an article, believing in herself and without any intellectual knowledge about home environment. Yes, I've been watching, enjoying, just relaxing and looking at those Homeworthy programs. This girl is not part of Homeworthy. She's part of another kind of organization, renting out or presentation of home environments. And peace with her. I think she's a good girl. I think she's doing. I think she's a busy girl, and I think that she have her whole heart into this matter. But there's something she doesn't get help with, and that is her voice. And she don't maybe she don't like to be criticized. That's the next thing. People who don't like to be criticized, they don't learn they don't want to take advice. But I think this girl should take all the advice in this world. I think while she is doing these videos, I'm just guessing and feeling and sensing. I think that she do multiple jobs in order to survive. She might not be able to buy these items, and so she is frustrated already when she entered these homes, because she cannot live this way, and she wishes that she was at the end goal of being able to live in these kind of rooms and beautiful environments already. That is what I see in her, and that she's already fit for living such a life. So I think what she needs helps too is somebody who truly cares about her and is honest and give honest opinions, and who loves her. And I'm not sure that she have anybody in her life to do that job, right? And to give her a proper opportunity in life. I think she is being utterly suppressed, and I think she have been abused. Maybe not in her relationships, maybe she have healthy relationships, but then maybe being bossed around and having unfair responsibilities in order to create a better future for herself. I don't know what her problem is, but I don't like the way she talks. And I like the words coming out of her mouth, but I don't like that she's suppressing so many true emotions inside of herself and don't dare to show it to the whole world.
Beams from pitch pine trees, and they just have these beautiful lines all over them.
And that she is trying to play a role. And now here, what do we see? A toilet and yellow hallway. It's ugly.
Just this beautiful color.
Can I show you something beautiful now? I'm very tired of looking at this home, right? I just opened it because the wallpaper in the sitting room was beautiful. Let's find something where this same girl is. I think she's attracting the same kind of people into her life because all her videos is the same story. But I think this one is much better home. And it's a colorful apartment or interior design. And who is living there? I'm not sure. Let's have a look at this one. And then finally in this video, I want to show you something really beautiful. Because if you Google home worthy, then there are so many beautiful videos there. Already here you see that there has been a lot of thought behind the combination of materials and colors.
Welcome to Interior Insights. I'm Jane, an interior designer, and we are standing in an apartment that is one of the most vibrant, eclectic, and beautifully...
You hear it that she's almost crying, but she's suppressing it so much, right?
color paletted spaces I've ever seen. If you like colorful, bold design and Wes Anderson.
And she have difficulties about showing how impressed she is. The feelings is always in that sadness, and she want to cry. And but is when she want to be I'm surprised, I'm amazed about this home. Then she cannot leave the frustration and sadness and go directly into the feeling that she wants with her words to express, that is indeed within her, but because she suppress other kind of negative emotions, then she cannot bring those other kinds of feelings that she carry inside of beautiful feelings out to the surface, because the negative emotions that is supposed to be there but is supposed to be expressed is blocking the way for the beautiful emotional artwork of her voice, unique artwork of her voice that she's hiding from us.
Megan Rosemary and her partner. Megan is a writer with a background in journalism and interior design, and she writes about design all over the world, and she has really managed to create an absolutely vibrant, almost fairy tale-like home where you can just lose yourself in the different color palettes and little worlds she has created. And the whole apartment is full of color and unique furniture finds and rich different hues.
This is one of the best home environment but still I could make it into looking more elegant for few money, no doubt about it. Now I want to show home worthy to you before stopping this video. Home worthy, just for you to home kirky. That is not what I want to Google. Home worthy is up here. In order to show you the difference between who you attract, what kind of people you attract when you want to show something that is beautiful. You see, this room is already looking more beautiful, even though that it's not very colorful, right? And there is not much personality, but maybe there is. Let's see. Maybe this is not the best video, because I want to show something that is also filled with color, but the color can be combined so that it looks very, very expensive for few money actually. You just need one or two expensive furnitures in one room in order for it to look expensive. The rest can be cheap stuff, but you need those two things in order for it to look gorgeous.
Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, my name is Emma Donsberg, and I'm an interior and furniture designer.
Okay, she's interior designer herself, so she have a big benefit, right? Here you see white sofa and maybe a beige sofa and an even more white chair, and then a very good quality chair. Because if you want something of bamboo or whatever the natural material is, make sure that it's not the cheapest of the cheapest, right? Because then you are already telling the wrong story. And then down here, then that you don't value your home enough, and then you don't value yourself, and that you don't feel worthy for a beautiful home. The sofa, you can get sofas like this from IKEA very cheap. It doesn't have to be the exact shape like this, but you know, the idea of a cream sofa and a pink, you can almost put colors together yourself and make a similar painting like this. This painting is not difficult to make. Try make this painting if you want a home looking like this. I am pretty sure you can. And then white sofa from IKEA. How to make a chair look like this? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can just buy a wooden chair and then paint it like a donut yourself. And then you have a table here, and that could be any kind of table that is echoing the color of this beautiful chair. That is the most expensive thing in this room, right? I'm sure all the furnitures are expensive, but I just gave you a solution how to make it make it look like the same, right? And my problem is when I want to make my own home is that I don't want to copy other people. So that sometimes is actually my problem, that I don't want to copy other people, and so I actually start to copy, for example, this that I've not finished yet, and this. But you see, I've already made it my own because I put a full figure and do some trickery with the art frame paint and this and that. I make it into my own. And you see, because this is heavy, these three furnitures are heavy. Even the table is heavy because you see how big the top of it is. So this is heavy furnitures. Then it doesn't matter, then this up here looks not heavy in the background. If these furnitures was not heavy and the table didn't look heavy, then this in the background would look ugly and cheap. But now as it is, it looks harmonious, right? And then what is here in the background? I can't see that, and maybe it's not important.
Designer based in Paris. So it's a typical Haussmannian house, apartment actually in Paris. It's in the second floor, so ceiling heights are a little bit higher than the other floor, and I remodeled it entirely.
And here you see that is what we saw from the other room. And in order for this place not to look cheap, they have put a good solid table and a chair that looks quality, right? Quality. And not something without character and without Homer Simpson feeling of quality, and it actually looks like quality designer chairs. And then we have something here down on the floor, right? Beautiful vase of quality. And then we have this one, the display console. And because all the other things, the table and the chairs, So they have put something that looks cheap. It's okay. The display console is cheap. Those things stands on top. It's not heavy. It looks cheap. It's not like very solid things. And it's not glassware that it is. It's some plastic. And it doesn't matter because what do we have on this wall? Something very elegant and unclear, but it's elegant paintings, 4 of them, right? And then we have something very elegant and expensive looking as the doorway to the terrace with some greenery. She doesn't have green inside the room because the greenery is outside the window. And as soon as you look through this hallway, then there's greenery and even some green picture on the wall there. Right? So what leads this room to this room is the window. Not particularly the furnitures, but the windows. So this is about you're inside now, but you're still outside. Don't feel like you're inside, you're outside, even though that this is a dining table with what is under here? What is standing up here? I don't know what it is. I can't figure out what it is. Maybe they are displaying something that they are selling a product, and maybe this is not a dining table, but a conference table. I don't have much voice. And then they have this that also looks very cool and actually have the same shape as the donut chairs, right? And that combination of this mirror, very heavy, strong mirror, and this very much look like, I don't know what, from the other room. Some very, not heavy, not elegant. It doesn't matter because this mirror is very rough, very solid, and it makes the room look pretty together with something that is more light and not look like something of quality. I think maybe it is of quality, but we cannot see it clearly, and there's almost no colors on it, right? The colors in this room are limited to the vase that is brown, white, and black, and something sticking up that I don't know what is. And then the colorful part is over here on that cheap console. That looks cheap, but maybe it's expensive. We never know. Because expensive is not about necessarily a trademark or a famous designer, or it's how you put things together, right? If a thing is heavy or not, or if a thing is light, or if it's of plastic. If you put too many things of plastic in your home, then your home would look like plastic fantastic, and that is not aesthetic beautiful for the eyes.
An area where I can.
So then better buy something second-hand in a second-hand shop than but we don't have second-hand shop in this country. So I've been living with plastic for I don't know how many years. But that time will soon be over because now I start to buy furnitures. So here we have a kitchen, yes. And the kitchen is, there's marmor that makes it looks quality. And I can barely talk because I don't have much voice. And then we have something up here and it actually looks good because you see the small hallway here, the door, there's a limited space, and then they use the same shape of the shelves. The shelf. Sorry, I'm Danish. I can barely press my voice out now. And then they have put a very nice sink with nice what is called with water coming out that thing. Water pipe.
Area, which is the living room and dining room. And
The living room
wanted ceiling height.
has this kind of vase. You see? Very beautiful. Very beautiful how they combine the things here. And then also a sculpture in the background that is white. Because they don't need to put a pink sculpture or a turquoise sculpture or something yellow sculpture, because they have already all the colorful in the room on this picture. And that picture, everybody can paint that picture, and with a donut down there. So that is not difficult. We are all artists enough to be able to do that. And to paint your own picture is adding some personality to a room, right? Now I want to stop the video because it's have already become too long. But what I love is how they combine the colors here, for example, and there's very much colorful with the dark blue and everything here, so they don't need to put dark blue here. They just put these colors, and then it always works fine on white walls with something like this that is just pastel colors of green and earth colors, right? And a little bit of blue, green, and white.